Hey y'all, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Hey Rebecca. Good seeing you again. Hey.
Rebecca, I don't know if I noticed last week your giant babe poster.
I love the movie Babe, mostly because of the cinematography, but the opening scene where they take the mama pigs away and Babe goes, "Goodbye, Mom," I still like bawl every single time I watch it.
Yeah, that's a rough movie.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I have to check it out.
Yeah, you really do need to check it out. It actually was nominated for Best Picture that year, and it was definitely watch it. I never watched Babe 2 Pig in the City. I just couldn't go there, but the original Babe movie is wonderful.
Nice. I'm a crier, so I will stock up on the Kleenex.
You're a crier?
Certain movies.
Oh.
Hey man, that's the point, right? Pull those heartstrings.
Yeah, when you watch Babe, you'll cry twice. Once probably at the beginning, like I do, and then once at the end when when things are working out, and you'll start then you get these happy tears. So get the tissues ready.
All right. 2 times max. If it's more than that, I'll come after you, Rebecca. How's it going, Jason? Welcome.
Hey, how you doing? I'm eating my lunch, so I'm staying off camera
All good, all good.
to spare you all.
Well, thanks for that. Where are you calling from?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, where are you guys all at?
I'm in Columbus,
Yeah.
Ohio.
I'm in Minneapolis.
I'm in Wisconsin.
We're close.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is like a
Midwest
regional.
crew.
Is this like a regional thing? This is all Midwest.
Not on purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're on the West Coast. Yeah, you never know who's going to show up to these things. So we've had people from, I think Charlene joined once, and she's in Oman, right? At least one of the times she joined, she was in Oman. It was like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Now that's dedication.
That is dedication.
I know. It's awesome, right?
I think the majority of times that she joins us for these types of calls, it's always the middle of the night for her. So that's why she's on the homepage of our website. Not just that.
But she's dedicated. I also saw that she did a cool illustration, Sasha, for the Climate for Fun.
Yeah, she actually did a couple. They're adorable.
Yeah, the
I only saw the
community.
teabag one.
Click on it and she added more
Oh.
in the comments.
So yeah, maybe we should chat about that because it's relatively new. We're trying to get that going.
Mhm.
Sasha, you want to share some updates?
Sure. So we've been, for those of you who don't know, starting this Climate Designers for Fun design challenge where we post a new prompt every week that is supposed to be kind of fun and easy to solve for. So it can be something that you make like concept art for, or just like a sketch of an idea. So the first one we did was thinking about if every designer was a climate designer, what would we need in our toolkits? And so the one that Rachel just mentioned, Charlene's submission, was a series of teas that we would want in our, in our little tea toolkit. So definitely an abstract way of thinking about it, which I love. I'm trying to pull up her submission now to say some of the other ones because they were really, really cute and smart ideas. So she had community, that was one of the T's. There was also anti-anxiety, and she did little watercolor illustrations for each of these ones. There was also tenacity. So that was like one way of solving that prompt that was, just fun and also a really good concept, thinking about the like emotional things that climate designers need in their toolkits as well. Some of the other submissions for that were like a impact checklist, and an idea for like a panel of an organization for kind of managing climate design and helping people find resources. So anyway, we posted another prompt last week. The prompt for this week that is ongoing, that is due this weekend, is a new international holiday has been announced to celebrate our fight against climate change. It focuses on the innovation, progress, and good news from climate action to inspire even more change. So what would you create as part of this first celebration? And we would like any submissions for that prompt to be submitted this weekend. And then I can preview the next week's prompt if we want. So next week's prompt will be carbon capture needs to be large scale to work, but does it need to be large? What if we all had personal carbon capture devices? How do we market it? How do we promote it? What does it look like? These are all questions that you could kind of think about for what does something, weird in the future that hasn't been invented yet look like, or what would you think of it as? So once again, something to not spend too much time on, but just to have fun with and see what kind of comes up in your brainstorming and your sketching, and submit it in our Climate Design for Fun group.
Welcome, Morgan.
Hey, how's everyone?
Good. How are you?
Good. I had trouble accessing this meeting again. This is the second week in a row. I like clicked the link to get in and it says you're forbidden to do this. So I was able to pull up the one that I think Lindsay sent me last week to get in. I don't know. Other people are having the same problem, it seems, in the chat.
How
Or
rude.
the link. Yeah. Yeah. I tried messaging all of you on the platform, like in the chat, and I don't know what to do. I don't know why that's happening. Maybe because it's set to like being a repeat event or something.
Yeah, I don't know. We gotta get that fixed. Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look into that, Morgan. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's strange. So were you clicking the Zoom link in the, like, from Mighty Networks?
Yeah, I clicked. I always join, so it says so you can get the link for Zoom to join the coffee break. And then when I go to click on it to join, like it says you're forbidden to do this.
That's
So
just rude of it.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't either. Okay, we'll figure it out, I hope.
Yeah, sorry to hijack with troubleshooting, but it's just the second week it's happened. I'm like,
we'll get IT on it. It's all good.
Yeah.
okay.
Get our IT department.
So going back to the design prompts, I'm looking forward to seeing people's results. I think this will be really fun. I think I've been noodling on how I'm going to be starting my fall class teaching climate designers at California College of the Arts. So Sasha might take one of the prompts and use it as like the first week as like a kind of a warm up for my students.
So fun.
So if that's the case, I'll post their results in the same circle.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
That would be great to see.
Yeah. Hey, Jessica. Thanks for joining. So I think Jason and Jessica, is this your first time joining?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi, nice to meet you all.
Nice
Yeah.
to meet you.
How's
Thanks
it going?
for
Where are you calling
joining.
from?
I am currently on the East Coast, but I'm actually just visiting my family. But I work for a company in San Francisco called So Far Ocean. And we make buoys that go out in the ocean and gather weather data.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah, trying to increase the amount of data we have on actual weather out in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Do you ever get to go out on the ocean?
Not since COVID, no.
Aw.
Yeah, some people have, but
And how did you find out about climate designers?
I actually don't know. I think I just was on a look, I'm actually looking for a new job. So I think I was looking for resources for jobs that have an impact on climate change, and I came across this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. Me too. Yeah, it's nice to meet you all and hear what you're up to.
Yeah, I just posted a link in the chat. We do have a jobs page on the website, and it lists out a number of job boards focused on climate, sustainability, social impact. So
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
yeah. Hey, Jason.
Hey, I'm done eating, so I'm off mute.
Nice.
And you can see my lovely bunker here. I'm down in my basement.
The Revolution bunker.
My
And how did
son,
you find out? How did
it
you
wasn't
find
my
out about
son's
that?
room, but he came home from college, so I ended up down in my bunker. Oh yeah, that's Weird Al. So
Oh,
kind of a humorous revolution. Yeah.
I love it. We all need more humor in our revolution.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was just Googling, climate related. I'm looking for a job that, instead of selling fabric softener or cars or something like, or unless it's an electric car, I'm trying to find a job that's like actually helping, definitely not hurting. Most of the work I do is just kind of neutral, so
There's no such thing as neutral.
that's true. I'm trying to find something that is actually helping. So it's hard to do in this business and get paid because I need to make a living. So
Totally. I'm in the same boat, and I spoke with a recruiter a couple weeks ago, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you could just like do that for freelance or like for free, like on
yeah,
the side in addition to your regular job." I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I've been doing." Like, but
right.
yeah, it's sad that even recruiters whose job it is to know what jobs are out there are still like, "Oh yeah, I don't like, unless there's climate recruiters that I don't know about." Yeah. Like they're just kind of like, "We'll just do a bunch of pro bono work and then,
Yeah.
figure it out."
I think at some point we'll shift towards where working on climate and all that good stuff will just be the norm. I think it's still a relatively new concept for folks. And it's also like subjective too, like how do you define good, so I don't know, but it's still a bummer that we're still operating through this, like, yeah, like Rachel was saying, like, just do it pro bono because it's for good. Like we need to move away from that idea that doing good should be free.
Right. I think part of it too is, I don't know, I'd be behind an initiative to encourage creative people to turn down work from companies that are not responsible.
Yeah, check out
I've
Clean
turned down,
Creatives.
I've turned down Exxon. That was an easy one to turn down.
Oh my
But
gosh.
like I'm at the point where I'm kind of like hesitant with any consumer packaged goods, anything that's just more plastic. So I think if you imagine a world where, if you want good creative, then you have to be responsible, and otherwise your stuff's going to look like crap. I think it shows itself a lot in like politics and stuff too. It's like, you can tell the politicians that have trouble getting good creative people because their stuff looks like crap. But it also kind of helps you understand, there's a reason their stuff looks like crap, So
Yeah, that's one of our big ambitious goals actually, is to empower designers and creatives to say no to harmful work and boost the profits or goals of the companies doing good work. But I think in the meantime, when there aren't as many companies doing that good work explicitly, I think one of the things that we can do is get jobs for companies that we consider more neutral, or at least having values aligned with ours, even though they are corporate for profit consumer products or whatever that they're creating. and work to change those processes to become more sustainable. So
Mhm.
if, like if you're working for, I don't know, somebody that creates a consumer good, you can argue in your design or your packaging for that good to use materials that are sustainable, and just take a stand for that and just start to infuse that into the company ethic if it's not already there. I'm sure that there are other people in the company that would band with you to do that. And how much power can a big organization make? Like, I'll use Microsoft as an example. They have a goal to not only become carbon neutral, but to also remove all of the carbon that they've put into the atmosphere as a
Mhm.
company since the 70s. So that, isn't a climate focused company on the surface that you would, think of. But it's a company culture, and they have so much money and power, they can make a huge influence, and they're actually already influencing the carbon removal space, looking for ways to do that very goal. We need startups that can help them remove that carbon. So it's a thing that's actually becoming some of the seed funds for that industry from Microsoft.
Yeah, and as an initiative with climate designers, we're not suggesting that everyone quit their 9 to 5 design jobs to focus on climate 100%. If you can, awesome. If you're able to, amazing. But what Sarah's saying, how can you change within these larger companies? Because we need to attack it at both angles. It would be kind of dumb if every designer quit their regular design job to focus on climate. We still need other things in our lives. We still need designed objects and experiences and services. So it'd be kind of silly to ask everyone to just focus on this.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
standard things like healthcare and government and non appealing industries need good design. Way need good design.
Yeah, there's other things. I don't know how many of you are working like in web design or electronic or digital products. Are you aware of like the sustainablewebdesign.org? So sustainable web is about making the digital products that we create more sustainable, because a lot of our web pages and a lot of our digital products are very heavy when it comes to requiring computing power. And if we can make our own products require less computing power, then we can actually cut down on the electricity and therefore water use and general carbon footprint of our own products. And one of the ways to do that at our level is when you're designing something, whether you're doing UX or whether you're doing any other kind of design, if you're doing a human-centered design and you're using personas or stakeholders, if we can start to make the planet or the environment a stakeholder or a persona and start to edge, to work that into our design process. So for who we're designing for, we can start kind of working in from that angle. So.
Yeah, I love that angle, making the planet a part of your human-centered design process. I think that's the way to go for sure. I think sustainable is way more than just energy efficiency. I think it's well-being for people and the planet. So
Yeah, another part of that like sustainable web design kind of method is just making it easier for users to use your site, to find what they need quickly and don't waste people's time, which is, I think, a good difference from some of the rules that are in marketing, where it's like, keep people on your site, like, we want all of their attention, like take all of your users' attention. And the goal could also be like, okay, help them, get them what they need, and send them on their way to do something better with their lives.
Yeah.
Like that can help a lot too.
That's why I always hated the time on page or bounce rate metric, because I'm like, well, what if I come to the page and find my answer and leave? Then
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
oh, that was a fail. It's like but from a design point of view, that was how it was supposed to work.
Yeah,
Right?
if you're doing good user experience design, people should be able to find what they need, get on and get off of your website. The point is not to stay on your website. It's supposed to be to either buy the thing you're selling or do the thing you want them to do, and not just sit on your website. So.
I think this whole idea about electronic communications using fossil fuels, I think, is a new thing. Like, I didn't even realize it was that big until like the whole cryptocurrency thing, and how it's like Bitcoin is using, and the NFTs and stuff are using tons of resource. I had no idea. So I think that's a great thing to get out there. That's this sustainablewebdesign.org is a great site because it's breaking everything down.
Yeah, they've
More
got
people understood this. But also I'm like, as a user, I'm like, okay, what can I do? What should I do to, is watching a movie on YouTube, is that using less than surfing on Instagram? You know what I mean? Like, it'd be nice to know like what the trade-offs are.
It'd be nice, but I'm gonna say that you're talking about like pebbles against the giant boulder of industry. So don't spend too much energy on it.
Well, I wonder though, I mean, when it comes to like cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy when you look at how much, and that seemed like a technology that was going to make us a lot greener.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
to find that out, it's like, oh God. I mean, they're trying to like figure out other ways of mining that doesn't use so much energy. But they compare it to like the output of countries, how much is being used.
Yeah, it's because I think a lot of the cryptocurrency mining operations, they use small server, small server farms, as opposed to like you've got Google with their cloud-based servers, which they're really trying to cut down on their use of fossil fuels. But when you've got all of these small server farms all over the world using huge amounts of energy, just in smaller spaces, it just all adds up to something insane. So.
I saw that Google built one of theirs underwater so that it would be naturally cooled, because you have to keep them so cool. Building them out west is like the worst idea ever.
That's the other. They use
the ocean when you do it underwater.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Although right now there are data centers out in the ocean, and they use like 3 to 5 million gallons of water a day to cool a data center.
But it's ocean water though, right?
Well, no, these are like out in Arizona.
Oh, yeah, that's awful. Yeah.
Yeah,
putting it in the water makes a lot more sense. And if you evaporate seawater, it's probably not as big of a deal. It's it wasn't fresh water to begin with. And if you could turn it into some sort of desalinization project, then that would be really great.
Yeah, one of the bigger issues right now is that Google for their data centers on the West Coast, they're using a lot of solar energy. They're using cleaner forms of energy, but like Amazon Web Services and also Google in the East, they're building all kinds of new data centers in places like Virginia, which is completely reliant on coal and natural gas. So we've got the big web services who said they were going to go clean, and then they're building their data centers in parts of the country that just use dirty energy. And one of the cool things on that web page, there are a couple of tools that they link to. Way down at the bottom here is the EcoGrader and the website Carbon. You can put in your website, you can put in your URL, any URL, and it'll check to see how much, you know, what the carbon footprint is, and whether they're using clean hosting. And a lot of them, like and it's really sad when you put in some organizations that are supposed to be in, you know, they're fighting for the environment, but their websites are completely dirty.
Mm.
So I
Mark
have
has
a
a funny
fun-
story about
I have
that.
I knew you were gonna, yep. I was just asking Rachel, should I share that story? So, okay, full transparency, climatedesigners.org, the website, it's on Squarespace. It is not the cleanest website, and I am okay with that. Reason being is because we needed to get something out in the world. We needed to just get this message out. And until we get a sugar daddy or sugar mama to like fund this project, then we're, you know, no pun intended, we're running on fumes, right? Trying to get this message out. The funny thing is though, I had this dude email me from some like web marketing company in the UK that they have one component of their, because I went on the website, they had one component of like sustainable consulting for digital products. So he emails me, and he emailed hello@climatedesigners, which goes to me, and he emails me and goes, hey, you know, love what you're doing, but did you know your website is, you know, on the red side, the, you know, the extreme level? And he gave me a little screenshot. And so I was like, yeah, no shit. And most Squarespace websites are, if not all of them. And so I actually put his company's website in the same website scale, you know, system thing, and it was even worse.
Did you send him a screenshot
I
back
did.
of that?
I sent him a screenshot. I said, hey, let's have a conversation about this. I have my 2 cents about greening the web and all that stuff. And he booked a Calendly, and then like the day before we were supposed to talk, he canceled. So
Yeah. Yeah, you can't trust somebody who can't even have their own website green. And that's a big problem right now, is that when you're a small, you know, when you're big and you've got more power, you know, or, you know, when you're a more, you can kind of pick and choose where you're going to host, and it's hard to find green hosting. And if you're small, I mean, it just, like there's a company called Mighty Bytes who is part of the sustainable web design. And the guy from Mighty Bytes said, you know, we tried our damnedest to find green hosting, and finding green hosting as a small company was just incredibly difficult. And so even, you know, even now they still haven't got it. From the last time I heard him talk, they still haven't really worked it out. So as a small, you know, I still send people to Squarespace just because it's a little bit better than Wix. But yeah, it's
what I would love to
when you're
see,
small, it's difficult.
what I would love to see is all of us, every single member of Squarespace, go upstream and knock on the door of Squarespace and say, hey, you change your ways. Don't have us, you know, don't rely on us, or don't put the onus on us.
Yep.
And so that's what Sarah's, you know, when she uses that phrase, don't punch down, like, I think we all need to really think about our individual efforts. And as much as we should be doing everything that we can, at the end of the day, there's still these large corporations and systems in place that are the real culprits here. And
Yeah.
so let's all demand Squarespace, by Jessica, to change their ways. And so one of my visions for all of this with climate designers is to get enough of us aware of this stuff, and then demand, petition, exactly, like demand companies like Squarespace, Wix, you know, these CMSs that are meant to put everyone on the web super easy, which I love, but to put them put the pressure on them to do that.
Yeah, and they, you know, and then you've got layers upon layers, because then most likely Squarespace probably relies on AWS, because a lot of people, a lot of them use. So you've got Squarespace, who's got their own issues, and then they rely on AWS, who's completely non-transparent as to where they get their power and how they do their business. So yeah, I mean, it's just, and that's how they, you know, they keep everybody from making a fuss, because it's like, who do you point at? Well, they're pointing at everybody else.
Everyone's going to be pointing, exactly. Yeah. It's a big topic, and something that we've been seeing our members starting to talk about is this idea of sustainable web. digital, green digital products, things like that. So it's a bigger conversation that I think maybe someday soon we'll have maybe a convening and just talk a bit more about it and peel back the layers. Because I think there's a lot more to it than just going to a website and ranking your website,
because there, like I said, there are so many layers, there's so many things you can do. Like there are certain things that you can do, because you can choose, what kind of images you use and make sure that everything is streamlined. But then if you're reliant on a provider who's reliant on a provider who's reliant on a provider, and then you've got your DNS, you've got your CMS, you've got your, you've got all of these things. Exactly. Google Analytics takes huge amounts of, every time you're calling out to something, you're reliant on what they're doing. You can cut down on the number of calls you make, but every call you make is reliant on someone else's decisions on the power that they're using. So
Thanks, Sasha.
Bye, Sasha.
All right, I just want to be mindful, top of the hour. So thanks, I guess, Jason, Morgan, good seeing you. Love to hear about how your new gig is going. Maybe
good seeing everybody. Sorry to hijack with that troubleshooting earlier.
No problem.
But,
thanks for popping in.
It's always good to check in with you guys. And Jason, welcome. We're actually gonna have a local meetup in Cincinnati next week. So
really?
if you want to come hang at Rheingeist, that's what I was chatting to Sasha about. I was like, send me some graphics so you can put it on the site. Trying to
what day?
I think next Thursday evening.
Okay.
Like from 6 to 7, I think, but I'll try and post something soon.
Is it in the
trying to
Midwest
coordinate
circle?
with her. In Cincinnati, so I'll probably post it there. Unless you think I should post it on the main blog page. I don't know.
You never know. People from Illinois might want to drive out.
I guess, would they have to be in the Midwest circle to see it if I posted there, or would it go out? Wouldn't it go anyway to the main blog?
I think so. I think you're right. I think it goes to the main.
Like event.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully get that out there soon. But Haley and I met through Climate Designers, and she's here locally, and a couple weeks ago we met up, and then she just sent out like a GCal invite, and I was like, oh, let's cross post this on Climate Designers. So
Definitely.
I'm gonna bounce to you, but good to see y'all.
Nice meeting everyone.
Have a good weekend.
Good seeing you, Rebecca. Till next time.